Hello, my crafty friends. Welcome back to Melanie Smith Stamps. I am Melanie, and if you're visiting for the first time, thank you for joining me today. I am here with a couple of the Spellbinders clubs for April 2024. I've got the 3D embossing folder of the month, which is called One Stitch at a Time, and it's right here. It's very cute with all the little needles and threads. We're going to use that as our background for our card today. And then we are going to make this adorable little stitched card, something similar to this. We're pretty much playing by the rules in this video, but we're going to change it up a little bit by doing the flowers and not using as much of the foliage as they have here, just because I thought it was a little full and I wanted to add a little tiny sentiment to my picture. So I changed it just a little bit this time. And this is the stitching die of the month, and it's called Stitched Wall Hanging. Now, I love the idea of this because, well, for multiple of reasons, actually. If you've ever done cross stitch before, and I have, it's actually how I began crafting as a child. But another company that I know of, I believe Altenew, if I'm not mistaken, has a cross stitch plate where you die cut and it makes like Ada cloth, like paper, but that you can cross stitch. So this, in my mind, I'm thinking if I could get a hold of that plate, which I don't have yet, I'm going to be on the hunt for it though, and use this frame, then I could turn any small cross stitch design into a framed piece on my card. So any kind of little Christmas design, or there's a whole bunch of little freebie cross stitch designs out there. Ones that wouldn't take very much time, but are actual cross stitch designs. So rather than stitching on your dies, you could actually stitch a scene or something here and then add a sentiment and you're good to go on your card. You could add an embossing folder like we're doing today, or it would just make it so special and so unique. And I think this frame is a no-brainer between the foliage that you're getting that can be used on all different types of cards. And then you're not only getting some stitched elements, which are these two flowers and the leaf here that you can stitch, but you're also getting a foliage leaf, and you're getting these two add-on foliage pieces that are actual die cuts that are just regular dies. So you can use those in all of your other floral building sets. It also comes with this cute little hanger, which makes it look like something you would hang on your wall. And then it has this little string and a little high sentiment here, which I'm not using the string in the high today. Instead, I'm going to add a little tiny sentiment in the center by opening this up just a little bit. So let's jump into it and I will show you what I've got designed. Now I'm using for inspiration today, this is Sarah Renee Clark's Color Cube Card 272. Now if you're not familiar with her color cubes, I have them linked down below. They're wonderful if you struggle with color inspiration. I tend to use them every now and then just when I want something different. I don't want to go to the same old colors every single time. So, and we all have our favorites. Like, I am a purple person. I do have to admit, I do love purple. And I do love teal. I don't necessarily put them together all the time, but I would never have chosen gray. I don't know why. Gray is not my wheelhouse. So this was a little off for me. But I have the gray cardstock from Spellbinders that is the really soft gray. I'm trying to think what it's called right now. But I have that. I will link the colors I've used down below also, just in case you like this color combo. But I went ahead with this, and as you can see here on the other side, it gives you all the different hues. So you don't have to stick to this exactly. Matter of fact, my colors aren't exact. Here's my colors that I picked. I went with the really pale gray as my background, like my Ada cloth would be. And then I just added black for my frame. I know black's not in here, but that's okay. This is just a guide and you make it your own because remember, you're the artist. So I went ahead with a black frame. Now this frame does have a cute little rib to it, which I thought was really neat. It kind of makes it real-like looking. I don't know if you can see that if I pull it up close. I almost thought of taking some gilding wax and coming on here to make it look like a little antique-ish, but I decided because of these bold colors, I would stick with the black and the pale gray. And this card actually has very little white in it, which is unusual. So that makes it different in itself. So then we have this little tiny hanger, which I'll go ahead and glue on here. Well, no, I'll wait till the end to put that just because it's a delicate. So I've already stitched one of the flowers up. Here's the detail to it. It's just a simple stitch, but it looks unique because of the way these stitching holes are staggered. So it looks more like a star than a circle would be. Now they have circle stitching elements in here, which is stitched the exact same way. So you're just going from the outside hole to the inside hole over and over and over again, but they look different, which I think is what I like about this flower. Now this is made, I believe, to go on top of here, but I didn't like the way it covered up this beautiful design. So I opted not to use this one in my design, but in this card from yesterday's video, I did use it here as a small little flower. And then I used these little branches from this set to use as the sprigs coming out from the flower. And I thought it did a cute little accent on a totally different card that's not even a stitching card. So as you can see, you can add on these other little items to any card and with like 2 seconds worth of stitching, or you don't even have to stitch it at all. You could just add a crystal and be done. So that's just another idea for you to use a stitching set beyond what it's originally intended. So this one is already stitched. We're going to go ahead and stitch the bigger one here. And like I said, the circles are done the exact same way. The only difference is they've staggered the outside holes in this one. So I thought we would just do this one together. So I do value your time, and I try not to keep you here all day. That's why I try to do some prep stuff ahead of time, because I do appreciate you coming, and I appreciate you staying, because it does help the video algorithms for people to actually stay throughout the video. And I appreciate that when you guys make it to the end of the videos. So I already got a little knot. Wasn't that nice of the thread? Let's see if I can catch this before. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. See if, there we go. So let's see. All right. So I didn't start where I meant to start, but that doesn't matter because you're just going from the outside and you're coming to the inside hole. Whoop, I totally missed the inside hole. Look at that. You know what? You could actually do that. I'm going to just show you real quick. You could actually do that and then do this on another totally different stitch if you wanted to do an outline like that. But I'm not going to. I'm going to pull it back out. Like, you can make these stitching your own. You don't have to follow any try and true thing here. But I want to show you the way I did the other one. I don't want them looking differently on the card. But remember, when you see these, you can actually stitch them any way. There's no right or wrong way to stitch your die cuts. You could go all the way around this way if you wanted to and do little back stitches all the way around, and then you could do a circle here, then you could do your little spokes here. I mean, you could go to town. So I'm going to go all the way to the middle, which usually is a little bit bigger of a hole because it's made to hold all of the downward spokes. And then I'm going to attempt to catch my threads back here. So I'm gonna just twist this over here, and I'm gonna hold on to it right over here. So as I'm stitching these, it's gonna catch this thread underneath it. Did I do that right? No, I didn't. Let me push that back the other way. I'm doing it backwards. There we go. Yep. Okay. I was already doing it, not even realizing it. I knew that felt wrong. The teacher teaching the teacher. Don't y'all feel confident in my instruction? Okay, so up through the outside and down through the center. You want to keep it kind of taut. That first one isn't taut because it was loose from me holding it. But you want to keep it kind of taut. Now, one thing I just realized while I'm sitting here stitching this is I did not double this paper. You see how it's kind of bendy? See here how it's bendy? Normally, when I stitch, I double layer the 100-pound cardstock. So I would have cut 2 of these and glued them together and lined up all the holes, and it would not have done that. It wouldn't have done this give. And I just forgot because I'm a little behind on videos this month because I've been out of town. So I just honestly forgot. So you can do it without doing that, but it is a little more difficult to stitch. It gives, and you have a chance of possibly bending your paper and getting some creases. And I just prefer doing 2 layers glued together. It stitches faster, one, and I like the way it feels on the card also, but honestly it just makes it easier. And this is a little slower than I would normally be stitching because of the give in the paper. See how I'm bumping into it and it's doing that? It would not do that, and if I'm not careful, it's going to put a crease like right here, and I really don't want that on my flower, so I have to be careful. I didn't even notice that when I did the first one, or I would have fixed it. But hey, like I said, learning experience for y'all, right? I always say it, but I've never actually done one like this on screen. So now you can see why I actually say that in all my stitching videos. So now you've seen why, which is a good thing. This here has now been caught by a whole bunch of stitches. Is this string gonna make it? I don't think it is, because we are only halfway around. This is a bigger flower than the other one. The other one did make one string to get all the way around, but this is a bigger flower. I am using the coordinating DMC color to the cardstock. If you get the essential cardstocks from Spellbinders, and you get the essential, the ones that are called essential DMC threads from the website, they coordinate beautifully. And you can get this perfect tone on tone match. I'm just tucking this under about 3 times in different directions to secure that thread, like so. I'll take my mini shears and snip that off, and I will also come here and make this one shorter as well. Okay, let me grab another piece of floss. Let me check to see. I'm pretty sure this is already 2 strands. Yep. I do stitch with 2 strands. I find 3 strands is just a little too thick for me. Some people stitch with all 6 for a thicker, more embroidery look, and others stitch with 3, I've found. And it's just a personal preference. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever look that you like. And you just have to go with what, you know, what your eye likes, because like I said, there's no right or wrong. This is art, and it's your art. You are the artist. Don't you forget it. Okay. This is a little windy, so I'm just going to let it hang down and do that. I know you don't see all of that on screen, but you can see it unwinding there. And when it does that, it won't twirl now. You see how it doesn't twirl as much? And that is what you want, because it won't knot up as much. Okay, so I'm going to just start at this one, and we will finish this up real quick. Last stitch, straight down in the center, and tuck it one more time. We'll do about 3 or 4, go in different directions, and she's done. Just trim her off there. And now we have a couple of flowers on our card. There we go. So now I've got these branches here that I'm going to tuck on either side. Get our card base out here and move our dies. Go ahead and do this on my actual glass mat. It's a little more supportive. Then I have these for up here. Let's see, I might just want one of those. Let me see. Then we have this little guy. We might want, let me see what that one looks like up there. Tuck it in a little bit more, it won't come out as much. I'm going to snip this off so those don't show when I'm tucking. No one will ever be the wiser. And my goal here is to have this cute little birthday wishes sentiment right here in the middle, like so. And I need to glue this one here. I did save this last one here to glue together. If you did not see my other videos, this is the new Spellbinders refillable bottle that you can get. It's got a fine detail tip, and you can put whatever glue you want in it. It comes empty. You get 2 to a pack. And it has the very same type of tip as your Barely Art glue does. It's a little bit longer of a tip, but it's the same type tip as that does. It does not come with a pin, but your pins, your stainless steel pins, do fit in it, and the lid that it comes with fits right over the pin. So great for traveling. And I'm really enjoying it. It holds 1 ounce, so it holds quite a lot of glue, and it's really nice and controlled, which I like. Just gonna move these little buds around, get them where I want them. There we go. And we will push this one right in here, maybe. Whoops, I took a bud off. Didn't give it time to dry. there we go. That's what I'm after. So I'm going to go ahead and glue some of these in place. I'm going to glue by the bottom branches so the top branches are loose. I like to have some dimension there. Okay. Get back on there, little bud. I know I didn't give you much time, did I? There we go. Okay, and then we can maybe put that right there. That'll look good. Okay. I didn't know if I'd like these colors, like this bold. You know, I've done purple and turquoise together before, but not such bold, deep colors, if that makes sense. So these are definitely bold and deep. Oh, let's see. Maybe I will pop the flower up. Use a little bit of the glue here. Like that. Like that. Then we'll do the same here. I'm going to go ahead and snip these also so they don't show. There we go. Okay. Use one more of these here. That one going to be too big? No, I don't see it from the front. Perfect. All right, I'm going to use a couple large crystal mix gems here from the Essential line. These already have adhesive in them. If you do have a struggle with them staying on, you can add a little dot of glue. I'll show you here. You can add a little bit of glue just for safekeeping right there in the center. But they do have adhesive dots on them, just like your glue dots. Which, as y'all know, glue dots are pretty strong, but if you just want a little extra insurance, you can do that right there. And then let me just hook this down in the center. We'll use our reverse tweezer to do that. Okay, now we'll hook this little hanger here on the top. I always surprise myself when I use the color cube, and I always feel so good about my project because it really makes me step out of my box and say, that is so cool. I would not have done that otherwise. So if you are one that struggles with color, or just feeling burned out sometimes, check out the color cube. You can get digital or in person. Like you can get the cubes themselves with the cards, or you can get digital format for your iPad or your computer. And they are a wealth of information. So I'll just attach that on here, and there is our finished card. What do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments. And here is the color cube. Pretty cool, huh? All right, well, that wraps up my clubs for this month. Just so you know, I was not given the Better Press Club of the Month on time. It is coming, but I am not sure I will have time for a video this month. So I'm going to show it here in on the screen and let you know that it is available. It was only delayed for us as designers, and some will have them, some won't, but they should still be up on the website, fingers crossed. And if you're interested, the links are down below in my description. And using those links does support my channel. It supports letting the companies know that you got to see some inspiration here and that I sent you over there with my links and that you're enjoying my content. So thank you so much for supporting me, and I appreciate you stopping by today. Leave me a comment, thumbs up, and have a great day. Bye-bye, friends.